Professor Tripathi, so we know that you are a professor, you are a visiting professor of Wuhan University,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So what do you teach at
I'm teaching philosophy of grammar.
Philosophy of grammar?
Yes, because I specialize in philosophy of grammar and modern linguistics, along with poetics in Sanskrit. So they have got a department of philosophy in Wuhan University.
Yeah.
And I'm here to help them with a research project. And I'm teaching philosophy of grammar. There is a text in Sanskrit on philosophy of grammar known as Kaunda Bhatta's text. And Kaunda Bhatta's text is a very, very basic text for entry into the difficult subject of philosophy of grammar. So this time I'm teaching that text.
The text?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
So I'm very curious. So how many students will attend your class?
There aren't many, I'm afraid. But then I also give a few lectures to the general students.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And in those general lectures, there are more students, maybe around 50 or at times 30. So it depends.
Okay. Then I wish I were in Wuhan University so that I could attend your lecture.
And never mind, you are always most welcome whenever you are free. Just let me know.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we all know that you were the first lady to head the department of Sanskrit in Delhi University, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So actually, we also know that you did tremendous work. So my question is, how did you make yourself so successful? Because we know it's not very easy for a lady, especially in India, to make. Right?
Well, that's a slightly difficult question to answer. Difficult not because I have faced difficulties and it will be a problem for me to explain them, but difficult because I have never thought this sort of work as being difficult. I take it in my stride. I just go on, do my work, and
just make your every effort to do something very well. Right?
Yes, yes. So it comes to me. It comes to me naturally.
Yeah. So it's a natural thing for you to lead the department.
Yes, yes. So basically, my approach towards a situation is do the best that you can for the institution to which you belong. And the responsibility given to you should be borne with all diligence and all commitment. Now, once you have that philosophy behind you, you just go out and do your best and try to overcome all the obstacles that come in your way. And let me assure you, there are obstacles galore if you want to work.
I know. So just do it and ignore the other things, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. So while I was the head of the department, I thought that the department needs to be restructured in a way in which it could be relevant to the modern times. Because if you don't restructure yourself, if you don't develop yourself, you become redundant over a period of time. And as it is, Sanskrit is very relevant today, but there are very few people who realize the relevance of the language.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Therefore,
I don't know why I need to study Sanskrit.
Yes, but you will have to remember that Sanskrit is not just a language. Sanskrit contains the knowledge base for the more than past 5,000 years of this country.
Yeah, right.
So if you want to have an understanding of the history, the sociology, the knowledge base in general, you have to learn Sanskrit. So not knowing Sanskrit would lead to not knowing India. And if you have to know India correctly and in the proper perspective, Sanskrit is the only tool that can get you there.
Oh, I see. That's why, our chairman, Mr. Pan, he knows Sanskrit.
Yes, I understand he has been a student in Delhi University.
Yeah, right.
Yesterday somebody gave me, oh yes, it was Celine who gave me this information.
Yeah. Okay.
And she told me that Mr. Pan had been there as a student, and he was a student of Sarao. Sarao is a good friend of mine.
Oh.
So I was very happy to know that. And obviously he must have learnt a bit of Sanskrit and a little bit of Pali too. Studying Buddhism means learning a bit of Pali. But Sanskrit becomes inseparable if you are learning Pali. You also learn a bit of Sanskrit.
Oh, I see.
But Sanskrit is important to understand the ethos of the country. Sanskrit is important to understand all the things that are contained in the knowledge system of the country.
Okay.
And it is quite erroneous to believe that India has got only philosophical texts and India has got only literary texts. India has got scientific texts, India has got medical texts. And when I say science, I mean across the border. You name any science, physics, chemistry, biology, whatever, mathematics, you name it, and there are texts available. But all those texts are in Sanskrit.
Oh, I see.
Therefore, in order to understand the development of knowledge systems in India and all that India has contributed to the world in different knowledge systems, Sanskrit is the only base that can be tapped.
Yeah.
So, learning Sanskrit is like the tool to opening a door to a wonderful world.
Yeah,
a
great.
wonderful world of knowledge.
So I believe you already seen the wonderful world, right? Okay. So yesterday you gave us the lecture about yoga, right?
Yes.
So now we know the way to negotiating life and stress is yoga.
Yes.
So, but the question is from me is how can we do the yoga to balance our life?
You see, in the Indian system, there is a way of prescribing according to the ability of the person. So there is not one cure for all. In no system,
No one cure for all.
no.
Yeah.
In Indian system, there is no one prescription for all.
Yeah.
There are individual prescriptions according to the ability of the person who is going to undertake the journey.
So how can we tell the ability, you know?
That is for the guru to decide.
Yeah.
That is for the guru to decide
Okay.
what is the ability of the person. The ability depends on the physical ability, the mental ability,
yeah.
the emotional ability,
yeah.
and also the spiritual ability.
Oh, yeah. I see.
So once all these things are taken into consideration, then the path of discovery is initiated for the person concerned. But of course, this is a slightly difficult way of doing things because these days, people don't have that much time, and people don't have that sort of gurus either.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a shortage of gurus of that caliber. The saints of the older times, they were able to do that. In modern age, there are some people, but very few.
Very few.
So I was looking at yoga from the point of view of the common man. A man who is afflicted with sorrow, a man who is afflicted with consumerism, a man who is afflicted with materialism,
Yeah.
a man who is because these are the qualities of the modern man. You name it, you have got consumerism, you have got materialism, you have got self-centered view of life.
Self-centered, yeah, right.
So all these things bring sorrow in life. You have to have basically a sense of satisfaction, which will lead to happiness. That isn't there in modern life, in spite of all the progress and all the money that you have. That's why people are hankering after money, they are running after money, but they are not happy. And the richest people are the most unhappy people. So I was looking at how yoga can help the general populace to achieve the goal of living, if not a very happy, a very quiet and satisfied life. So if you look at yoga, there are 8 steps prescribed on the path of salvation. And those 8 steps are called yam, niyam, asana, pranayam. Of these, the most popular is asana.
Asana.
Yes, but it begins with yama. Yama, niyam, asana, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So these are the 8 steps.
8 steps, yeah.
Once you reach the stage of samadhi, then you are
I feel peace.
enlightened.
Okay.
Then you are enlightened.
Enlightened, yeah.
But before that, there is a process of purification.
Yeah.
Purification of the mind,
Spirit.
Purification of the body,
Oh, yeah.
purification of your breath, because all these things put together constitute life. Your mind is the biggest enemy you can have. It's a very good friend, but it's also your enemy. The Gita says that the mind controls you totally. Therefore, you have first to win over your mind so that you are in control of yourself. So, yoga prescribes yam and niyam. The first 2 steps lead to control over your mind. And mind you, yam and niyam are not very something esoteric. Yam and niyam means, niyam is following rules. You should have a regulated life. You should have rules in your life which you should follow. Yam means restraint, not hankering after everything. I want money, more money, more money, more money. I want beautiful women, I want beautiful men, more. I want more dresses, I want more cars, I want more of everything.
There is no end, right?
There is no end to it. Therefore, yam means restricting your mind in its hankering after pleasures. And how do we restrict? If I have got, say, I give very practical examples. I have got, say, 5 saris. This is a sari. I have got 5 saris. That's enough for me. Yeah. Why should I want to wear a new sari each time I go out? That is hankering after things.
Yeah, right.
You see, you should feel satisfied with what you have and what is necessary. There is a difference between necessity and opulence. Necessity should be fulfilled, but opulence leads to dissatisfaction because you can never be satisfied. Today you can have 100 saris, tomorrow you need 200 saris.
Yeah, right.
So you just go on.
Yeah.
So yama means controlling your mind.
Control my mind, yeah.
And niyama means following rules. So through these 2 tools, you can start on the path which would ultimately lead to having a controlled mind which does not run after senses. Eyes run after beauty, ears run after nice sounds, and so on and so forth. So the sense organs are always running after something or the other. Once you control your mind, these stop running after things. So the first is yama.
Yama.
The second is niyama, following rules in life.
Following the rules,
Get up at a particular time. Get up, say at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. Have a rule. I'll get up and do this. I'll get up and do that. So having a rule-based life leads to discipline. And discipline is very necessary in life to make you satisfied and make you peaceful.
Yeah, right.
If you are not disciplined, then you can't do well in life. So the first two steps lead to a control over your mind. But then there is the body too, and the body has to be controlled.
Okay.
Because if you have an unhealthy body, you can't spiritually evolve. You have pain here, you have pain there, you have pain in your head.
Yeah, I fully agree with
so,
you. Yeah, right.
So you have to have a healthy body. And for a healthy body, the prescription is asana. All those exercises, the postures, which rejuvenate your body. So you have to have those postures to rejuvenate your body. Once you have talked about the body, then of course your breath, because breath is the controlling factor of life. Man is alive only as long as he or she breathes. The moment you stop breathing, you are dead. So control over breath is very necessary in order to be able to control your life system. And therefore you have got pranayama. So you see, the first 4 steps I have found are prescribed, which can be followed by each and every individual in order to be able to be in control of his or her own life.
Yeah.
So that can, once you are in control of your life, that would lead to peace. That would lead to peace of mind, that would lead to peace of heart, that would also help you in leading a peaceful life, not an agitated life. You won't get angry over everything. You won't start jumping with joy over nothing. So you have to have peace in mind. Once you have peace in mind, it leads to compassion.
Yeah.
And in order to have a progressive society, compassionate citizens are required.
Yeah.
You should not only feel for yourself, you should feel for your fellow beings. You should also be able to think about your fellow beings, not be self-centered. The problem of modern society, as I said, everybody is busy looking at the mobile phone.
Right.
You go in a place, nobody looks at anybody else.
Yeah. Nobody looks.
Nobody sees whether you are 5 feet tall or you are 6 feet tall or whatever. They would not even want to know who you are.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you have lived in the times when there was no mobile phone, because I have lived in those times when there was no mobile phone.
Okay.
And in a public place, you would meet people, you would greet people, you would talk to people, and you would sort of, with total strangers, you would share your joys and
So
unhappiness.
that's why you love to talk to me, right? Okay, so Professor Tripathi, so because we don't have too much time,
No
so
problem.
I have to close this conversation.
Thank you so
which
much.
is, I love it very much. And actually, at the end, I would like to ask you to do me a favor, because you know, we all know that Sanskrit is the most beautiful language in the world, right?
Yeah.
So we would like to ask you to say some beautiful words to the forum with your the most beautiful language. Is that okay?
Of course,
Okay.
of course. So I'll recite for you a verse which means that for a human being, his language and his expression is the best thing. Keyurana vibhushayanti purusham harana chandrojvala na snanam na bilepanam na kusumam na lankrita mudaja Vanyeka samalankaroti purusham ya sanskrita dharyate khriyante khalu bhushanani satatam vagbhushanam bhushanam. It means that your speech and your language is your best ornament. All the others will perish away, but your language and your speech is the best ornament that can adorn you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.